Hi, I'm Michael McCullough, President of Family Credit Management. Welcome to this week's edition of Economic Makeover. Unfortunately, when dealing with your finances, you simply can't be too careful. It often seems there are more financial scams out there than there are legitimate organizations. Credit repair, fees for loans, settle your debts for pennies on the dollar, or becoming a real estate mogul with no money down have taken millions of dollars of our hard-earned money. What makes it more difficult is there are so many legitimate organizations who offer real help during times of financial need. But how can you tell the good guys from the bad? Here's a checklist that we created to help. First, most financial services companies, like Family Credit Management, are licensed by a state agency, usually the Department of Banking. Some states are a bit more stringent than others, and some states have no licensing requirements at all to perform credit counseling or debt management for their residents. Because of this, the more states an organization is licensed in, the better. In fact, some states will come out for a week or weeks at a time to audit and review an organization like ours. This helps ensure everything is being done properly, ethically, and in the best interest of the consumers who we serve. Second, make sure they have been in business for a while. If an organization has only been around for a couple of years, they really haven't been tested. An organization has been around for 10, 15, or 20 years will have more experience and is more likely to have undergone more stringent reviews by third parties. Third, look for an agency with an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Don't ever allow anyone to rush you. If someone says they're trying to help but are pushing you into making a quick decision, that should raise an automatic red flag. And last but not least, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Now, if you did get taken in by some of these shysters, don't let it go. Report it to your state's attorney general. File a complaint with the Better Business Bureau. Contact the Department of Banking in your state. And even make postings on related message boards. Do whatever you can to draw attention to the unscrupulous players and to help keep the next person from getting ripped off. There are legitimate organizations out there, but a lot of con men too. Nevertheless, if you do your homework and take your time, you can find the good ones. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next week for another Economic Makeover.
Good evening and welcome. My name is Letitia Griffin and I'm here with Family Credit Management Services. Now, I'm a consumer advocate in the Chicagoland area and I'm here today to talk to you about finances, budgeting, debt help, any type of questions that you may have. So over the next 25 minutes or so, if you've got any questions, feel free to give us a call at 312-738-1060. Now, if during that time you don't get a chance to ask your question or you don't get a chance to call in, I want you to know that help is available. You can contact a certified counselor at Family Credit at 800-994-3328. Now, also, I want to point out that there are counselors on standby at the website that you can chat with as well. And you can actually chat live with the counselor that can give you the advice or information that you need. The great part about working with Family Credit and the credit counselors is that they are able to actually pull your credit report and go over your report with you step by step. They can tell you what's on it, they can give you your score, and they can let you know what you need to do as a consumer to improve things. Or if you're just doing okay, you just want to take a quick glance at your financial profile. So I do want to just throw that out there, that they're ready to assist you. Also, I also wanted to point out that over the next few weeks, there are a lot of changes in the industry and financial services. There are great programs that are coming out, and so I wanted to make you aware that I will be offering a first-time home buyer seminar on June 27th from 6 to 7 p.m. That is at the Wintrust Near West Branch at 2 Northwestern. So that's on Madison and Western. And it'll be a great time, especially if you're looking for a home and you just want more information about that. There are a lot of great down payment assistance programs in the city that are available where they can help you put down as much as 6 or 7% of a down payment. And when you're looking at trying to get a home and you don't know where the down payment is coming from, those are some great citywide programs through the Illinois Housing Department and through other entities that can help with that. So feel free to come on out and just ask some questions about those. And over the past few weeks, we've been talking a lot about overcoming credit challenges. That's been a huge topic. And we all know that the credit report is subject to be changing effective July 1st. So we're all keeping an eye on our reports, ready to pull those. If you have not done so, you may want to take a look at annualcreditreport.com just to get a copy of your report, to see what's on there, to see what, just take a snapshot of what you have. You want to be sure that you keep track of all of those trades or listings of accounts that are on there and pay attention to them, especially the public records section, because that's where a lot of people are going to see this huge benefit that's coming up with the credit reports over the next few months. And just so you know what's happening, just one of the great things that are happening on the credit report is that if you've got a public record showing on your report, you don't know where it came from, who it came from, you can't identify it, and you just don't know what to do about it, well, pretty soon, if you just look at it, it should be gone off of your credit report, because now the credit reporting bureaus, they will need to go in and do a review of your credit report and look at those things, and if they can't identify where they come from, they're out of there. So that is going to improve your credit report, improve your credit standing, and just get you into a better financial place. And when we talk about our finances, when we talk about just our money, a lot of times that brings on some added stress. And we have to keep in mind that looking at your credit report, looking at your finances, is pretty much like it's a part of your health. It works really alongside your overall health and your overall standing. Think about it. When you're thinking about money, you don't know where your money's coming from, you don't know where your money is going, it's stressing you out. And a lot of times, you don't know what to do. It's bringing that added stress and tension into your household and your budget as well. And it starts to affect other things. It affects the way we eat. It affects the way we interact with others, and it affects the way that we work and our productivity. So it can have a draining effect on us. So we want to make sure that if you're thinking about your overall financial health, you look at this aspect too, and look at how you think about money. I was just thinking that, financial health and dealing with it is pretty much like dealing with a diet. And I know a lot of us, we try crazy diets, or we try going on a diet, or even think about it. How often do you weigh yourself? And you need to take that mindset into dealing with your finances. What I mean by that is that if you are one of those individuals, you're always at the health club, you're always looking at your weight, watching what you eat, bring that over into your finances and look at your credit report. See what's on it. Think about it. When was the last time you actually had a really good in-depth look at your credit report and what's on it? Do you know who's reporting on it? Do you know who's the last place that pulled it? And a lot of times we sit and we can see that the last place that pulled our credit report, we may not even know about it. And those are some things that we need to keep track of. So that's why using annualcreditreport.com is a great way to go get your report. On this show, we've talked about a lot of tools that we can use as well. I do want to just recommend that you contact a counselor at Family Credit who can pull your TransUnion and your Experian credit report and go over that with you, because you actually do need to know what's on your report. It's really important for you to take a look at your report and know what's on it, know who pulled it and why, and also keep track of if you gave them permission to pull it, because that actually looks at your score too. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about your credit report and whether you should pull your score or if it affects you. I had a consumer who asked that question. They did ask, if I pull my credit report, will that drop my score? And I want you to know that if you pull your report and you're being proactive and you are looking at it and you're trying to educate yourself, that does not affect your score. That actually is a plus and a benefit, because now you're able to see what's on your report and you know what you're getting yourself into. So if you pull your report, that's more power to you. I'm very proud of you. If you go ahead and you pull your report and then you begin to keep or stay on top of what's actually on your report. Now, there's some great tools that we've been talking about to help you with your credit report and to help you know what your score is and stay up to date with that. One of the tools that we were looking at was Credit Karma. And Credit Karma is a great tool when you're looking at your TransUnion and your Equifax score, because it will give you both. Now, keep in mind, it's just an educational score. So that means it's there to guide you. It's not really the score that most people or most banks and lenders and finance companies that they see when they actually run your credit report. This is a score where you can get an idea of what your actual score is. So go ahead and pull that through Credit Karma and be able to take a look at it every month and see how you're doing. Keep in mind that if something changes on your report, they're really good about letting you know what's on it and what's changed, and that way you can begin to monitor your own progress and monitor how you actually interact with credit. So those are some really great tools out there. Also, you may want to take a look at Credit Sesame. That's another tool, just like Credit Karma, but it lets you know what's on your report as well, and it keeps you updated with changes as well. So it's a great tool. There's other tools out there too, but you want to keep in mind that if they're trying to ask you to pay for something, that may not be the best app or tool for you. You want to use something that's free, that's not going to charge you, no obligation, in order to stay in contact with your score. And once you begin to look at it, then you want to keep a great range and idea of what's going on in your life. A lot of people look at credit and they begin to kind of let the credit get out away from them, because they're not realizing some of those things that we've gone over or that we've learned or taken or adhered to the lessons that are out there for those people that are dealing with credit. Looks like we've got our first caller. Hi, caller. Welcome to the show.
Hi. I was calling today because I did have good credit once upon a time, and then I got divorced, and my credit has gone downhill since then. And I'm really trying to rebuild my credit now, but the problem is I'm not able to get any credit, so I'm not really sure how to go about rebuilding it.
Okay. And a lot of people are struggling with that same issue, but don't let that stop you. The first thing that you want to do is try and see if you can pull your report to see what's there, to see what it is that's blocking you. When you're thinking about rebuilding your credit, they're going to look at the most recent things that are happening to you. If you've got nothing there, then you need to get something there. You need to get a positive line of credit there. The best way you can do that is by getting a credit card. That's the most simplest way to do it. But sometimes credit cards come with, fees, and they come with things that you need to look out for. And a lot of times they're not easy to get, especially if you've got bad credit or no credit. Then you only open yourself up for those products that cater to people with bad credit. So that means that you can have a higher fee or higher interest rate. So you want to be careful about that. An option that you may want to explore is a secured card. Most banks offer secured credit cards, and what they do is you will actually put a deposit down as the credit limit on the credit card. So let's say you have $200 saved and you want to take that to the bank and get a $200 secured credit card. You're going to make payments on that each month, and it's going to report to the credit bureaus. And after so long, a lot of times it works right away. It's being reported right away. So that's going to strengthen your credit. But sometimes they're reported as a secured card, which may or may not be a good thing. But then there are those cards that are just reported as a regular credit card. So you do want to know that when you get the secured card, find out which way are they reporting, because it's going to strengthen your score. Then there are secured cards that after you have them for a while, maybe 6 months to a year, whatever security deposit you put down, they send that back to you and turn it into a regular credit card account. That's a great way to rebuild your credit. Also, a lot of banks will offer you a loan product that's catered towards improving your credit. So you want to go to the bank and ask if they have a credit rebuilding product. And a lot of banks do. So I know for secured cards, it's been rated that, Citibank has one of the best secure card programs out there. So does Capital One. Wintrust also has a great secure card, and these are cards that you can use and you can get right away with no hassle as long as you have the money down. That's going to go a long ways in improving your credit. Also, now that you got that card, you want to think about what you can do to improve things. And we've been talking about overcoming credit challenges. So you want to look and see on your report, is there something there that should not be? Something that wasn't yours, something that maybe didn't belong to you, and you need to get that off of your credit report. You can dispute that through the credit bureaus. That's a great tool for you to use. And you can also do disputes now using Credit Karma. So they'll walk you through that process to get to TransUnion or to Equifax and to the credit bureaus to get that information removed from your credit report or updated. Because keep in mind, if the information is right then and you dispute it, a lot of times it will stay there or it'll just be updated to show the correct information. And that's what you want, because that's going to improve your score too. Now, if you cannot get things in order, you're looking at your credit report, but those things that are there are actually yours and they're actually true. Let's say you've got collection agencies and medical bills. Don't want you to get discouraged with that. I want you to contact a counselor at Family Credit and they can help you set up a repayment plan. Sometimes they can talk to your creditors for you and get things in order and get your report back into good standing. Anything that you do now is going to go a long ways into improving your overall credit profile. Looks like we've got another caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, I have a question. My boyfriend does not have really good credit, and he has been asking me to co-sign for a vehicle for him because my credit is higher than his. Is that going to hurt my credit if I do that, or?
Okay. Now, if you notice, anytime you say, anytime someone says anything about co-signing a loan, my eyes automatically go up. Like, oh, that's something that you really want to stay away from. Co-signing, I know is there. Some people rely on it. But you also want to think about your financial health and your financial picture. Just because you have great credit, I don't think you should jeopardize that. But it's really up to you where you feel you are in your life and whether you feel like you can support that other person and their debt. Now, when you think about co-signing on an account, you want to look at the reason that the bank said no. That's the first place I want you to start. Now, think about it. Banks are in the business for making money. That's what they're out there for. They want to give loans. They want people to buy cars. They want to be able to charge them an interest rate and get them to make payments every single month. That's what they want to do. So if the banks are in the business to make money and to give out loans, and they reject a person or turn someone down, you want to think about, why did they do that? And also think about, do you actually want to put yourself and put emotions and our feelings and our thoughts into this when the bank has a 100% need to make the money? Why would you jeopardize yourself with that? So it's really up to you and thinking about whether you feel like you can afford that debt or not. Let's say you go out and you get an auto loan and you co-sign with someone and they agree to make payments of $250 a month. Now, that's a pretty low car note, right? But you're thinking about it. They're agreeing to pay that every single month. And if they cannot do that, you are saying that along with all of my other bills, along with my mortgage payment, along with my rent, my utilities, I will be able to pay this $250 in case they don't. And so you don't want to jeopardize your own budget like that unless you feel you can comfortably do it. I always say, don't bank on money that you don't have. So anytime that you are putting yourself on the line for that, keep that in mind. You want to make sure that you can afford to do that. So make the decision that's best for you, but try not to put your emotions into it. And a lot of times we do let our emotions get the best of us when we think about financing. And that's why we want to make sure that when you're dealing with your finances, you're looking at it every angle. You're keeping a clear head about it. And you are actually looking at it from a disciplined, objective perspective so that you won't risk your own financial health and well-being. That's why I do recommend giving the counselors at Family Credit a call. If you've got any questions about budgeting, about co-signing, and just even looking for alternatives. I want you to keep in mind that you have the power to change your situation and to stay on top of things. So you want to make sure that you do just that. And keep in mind that you're dealing with your finances, and it's an overall, it's a changing thing. Our finances do not look like they did years ago. Our finances change every single day. Along with that, our credit report changes. Our goals change. So we want to keep that in mind when we're dealing with it. I've recently experienced the importance of actually dealing with your goals, and how we've always said that if you write down your goals, you can be successful or more successful. Being able to look at your financial goals, write down your long-term goals, your short-term goals, and think about what are those things you want out of life and what are you saving for. And when you think about all of that, think about what you're saving for. Do you know that you're 34% more likely to be successful if you've written those goals down? And if you've got someone that you can rely on, or what's called an accountability partner, if you've got an accountability partner, someone that you can talk to about your finances, that can hold you accountable, that will keep you from making those purchases, that will keep you focused and online or in line with your budget, you are 76% more likely to be successful, especially with your finances, just by involving other people that you trust in that scenario. Now, I never want you to feel that you have to pay for advice or pay for help that you're looking for. Do your research. Make sure that you do it on your own. Make sure that you're talking to someone, that you're reaching out to a credit counselor, that you're looking for the help that you need, especially with your finances, and finding the help that you need and getting just that. There should be no excuses for you not knowing what's going on with your budget and with your credit report. So you want to keep that in mind and be sure that you focus on you, because remember, this all has to do with our financial health and our financial wellness. Some of the lessons that we learned growing up, some of the lessons that I learned growing up, is that really it's tough to pay interest, and we don't think about that. A lot of times we rush out there, we get the first loan we see, or we're young and we're experiencing things, we get the first credit card that we see, and it's got like a 25% interest rate or a 30% interest rate. I've had people that have gotten car loans for 28% interest, and they don't realize what they've done. You want to stay away from that. Know what you're getting yourself into. Look at your overall picture. Sit down and do some calculations. Say, if I get this loan and it's 28% interest, how much am I actually paying per month just towards interest? And then you want to make that decision based on that. And think about it. If you're not in the place right now to finance something, start today looking at your credit report, looking at what's on it, looking at your monthly budget, getting those spending leaks out of your budget so that you can focus on your financial future and your financial goals. Look at your credit report, get those things off of there, and then you can go ahead and have a perfect financial future, a perfect financial outlook. So we've gone through a lot over the course of the past few weeks, and they've been related to finances and empowering you to do better. As a consumer advocate here in the Chicago area, I do want you to do better. I do want you to focus on your finances and focus on those things that are important to you so that you can live a better life. Because our credit report and our credit score tells us who we are and what we can buy, and we want to be able to have control over that. So you can contact a counselor at Family Credit, 800-994-3328, to find out more information about how to secure your financial future. And then think about any types of questions, concerns, issues that you may have over the next few weeks. We'll be back next week, and you can ask all of those questions then. You can call in and ask those questions and save those for then. Also, with the upcoming financial seminars, I hope to see you there, and I hope to see you soon. Have a good night.